Here's how to create your tax deed auction maximum bid sheet and the important details that you need to have on that sheet when you're prepping for an auction. Because the worst thing that you want to have happen is for you to get mixed up, get confused at an auction, buy the wrong property, bid too much, or just screw things up at that tax auction. So let's dive into that here today. So when you're going to the deed auction, you want to go, obviously, you want to get the list. You want to download that list. You don't want to be getting access to the list too far. Well, you don't want to start pulling properties, say, a couple months in advance. One of the most important things for the tax deed auction is to have a list of properties that are actually going to show up at the sale. And the key thing about that is if you start building your list too far out, you're going to end up with a list where everything redeems and you're probably going to waste your time. So that's why it's important. A key detail when going to these sales is you want to make sure, like if you're traveling far for a tax deed sale, you want to make sure that there's going to be at least 80 to 100 properties on that list. And the reason that is because if you're going to go and look at 80 to 100 properties, the day of the sale, you could be left generally, 80% of those will redeem. So you could be left with 5, 10, 15 of those properties. So it doesn't make sense to travel a long distance when you don't have a lot of properties on that list. Now, the other circumstance is maybe it's in your own backyard. Okay. So if it's in your own backyard or within 30, 40-minute drive, it's no big deal. You're not really out of the game that much. If you go and maybe there's only 20 properties going to auction and maybe only 2 go to auction, and that's okay if you're not traveling far. Okay. So coming back to your list, what you're going to want to do is create a simple spreadsheet with a few columns. Okay. So first column is you're going to have your parcel ID on the left. And then from there, the next column is you want to have your addresses in there, like the property address coming up. The next column is the county assessed value. Okay, you want to know what does the county tax this property on. And then from there, you also want to figure out the land value for that property is super important. So from here, for everybody that is just tuning in, I'm Dustin Hahn. I specialize in tax lien and tax deed investing, and I like to help beginners get into this business. So if you are a beginner, you want to learn tax liens, go ahead, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up on this video, share it with your friends who want to get into it, and make sure to subscribe. For everybody that subscribes, I like to hook them up with this totally free mini course on tax liens and deeds. How to get a profitable lien or deed in 30 days, the ABCs of tax lien and deed investing, tax lien and deed 101. So this is on demand and it is in the bio below. Just click more info, hit the subscribe button on your way there. It definitely helps the channel. It'll make sure you get the details so you can find some of these profitable properties, because what I love about this business is it is one of the best arbitrages right now when it comes to making money in real estate. There are so many opportunities in tax liens and deeds, and it's not a very well understood business model. So that is super important. So coming back to this, okay, the next thing you want to be doing on your max bid sheet here is you want to go ahead and you want to obviously have your Zillow value. Now, Zillow is not going to be one of the, Zillow won't be, I don't want to say it's not accurate, but generally look at Zillow as like, what that property could be worth at full market value, or if it's fully fixed up. Okay. So we use Zillow. It's just don't bet the farm on Zillow, but it's a decent indicator for the information at the time being. So you're going to take the info from the county assessed details and then the land assessed details. And then from there, what is the Zillow value on that property or neighboring values to calculate how much a property can be worth similar to that. Okay. So the next thing you're going to have on that sheet is that max bid based on the characteristics and based on your notes for the property. So when you drive by the property, you want to have a pen and paper. You want to write down, is the property in good shape? Is it occupied? Does it need work? Okay. You want to basically take the details from the road with you and have them there at the auction, and make sure that you keep this max bid sheet private. Make sure that you don't show it to people. Otherwise, they can see what you're willing to bid. They can outbid you. They can maybe they mess with you a little bit at that auction, try to intimidate you. So always make sure to hide that max bid sheet because there's people who will be trying to see it. So it's very important to keep that thing covered up when you are going to the sale. So for the max bid sheet, I recommend just like a simple Google Drive spreadsheet is very, very simple to create the columns there. You want to also get the square footage, how many beds, how many baths, and then what is the spread from the opening bid to the assessed value, meaning like is the opening bid 5 grand, it's worth 65. That means there's a $60,000 spread and it'll just allow you to recoup your notes. And then from there, you want to have a section on the title for the property. Okay. So, for example, maybe the title says the property has gone to sale 3 times and it's been redeemed every time before the sale. Okay. So, that is some good information to know. So, these are all just kind of tax lien and deed basics 101 when you're getting into this business, and that's what this channel is about, is giving you the stepping stones to get this thing going, because it's not about overcomplicating it, because you want to get the information as you go. Okay, one of the mistakes a lot of folks make is they just try to cram their brain thinking they're going to have all the information and never make a mistake. It's way better to basically get what I like to call just in time information versus just in case information in this situation to be able to help you with your tax lien and tax deed investing. So that is your homework right now. And actually, you know what? If you go, this book's totally free. Okay. And there's examples of like max bid sheets in here as well. It has all of it. And like all of the questions, property evaluation, property identification number, physical address, parcel ID, property size, type of property. Okay. From here, condition of the property. So take this and then just simply put it into a spreadsheet. This is the best-selling book ever on tax liens and deeds, and I just give it away. I used to sell it, but now we just focus on our real estate and working with a few clients every single month to help them with their real estate. So if you want some help with your real estate, you can book a call with us below. We'll show you where to start, how to start, what to do, show you how to avoid the mistakes in this business. And we can also see maybe if it's a fit to work together. So on that note, we're going to keep this one short. So make sure to subscribe, hit this video a thumbs up, ask me a question in the comments. Here we go. Let's see, in the comments below this video and in the live chat. Let's see. The question here is, I just got here. When you buy a property, a tax deed, what deed do you need to sell that property? Well, you need you'll either have a quick claim deed or a warranty deed or a guarantee deed, right? So generally when you buy a property at the tax deed sale, you won't have a guarantee deed. So that's generally why you'll have to clear the title on that property. Now, that's not the end of the world. It could take 30 to 60 days. And the only real reason here is if you're going to sell it to like a first-time homeowner who wants to put a mortgage on that property. Because after the tax sale, the title companies are a little bit iffy if the title was cleared properly and if everybody was notified. So that's generally what's going to happen. And then from there, if you're dealing with an investor, a lot of the times you don't need to do that. They know what's going on. They'll buy the property as is. So by no means does that prevent you from flipping the tax deed quickly. So yeah, good questions, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Ask a question in the comments. Thumbs up, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.